What do you really want when you travel? Over-touristed hellscapes stripped of their local culture? Or do you want something real? The opportunity to sit elbow to elbow drinking with locals so far off the tourist track that even learning the language doesn't help, because out here they only speak dialect. Do you want to visit a restaurant where the mom runs the show and her son is the head chef, serving authentic cuisine made from the ingredients grown just outside the window? I really hope so, because we've found that very place in the heart of Europe, the deep Austrian Alps, and I want you to come along for the ride because it's gonna be an amazing night. This is Pinzgau, a truly stunning valley in Salzburger land, Austria, that most people only know as somewhere between Munich and the ski resorts. And though I'm sure you are familiar with the city of Salzburg, I also know how few of you are heading out into the mountains in search of untapped, authentic local culture. But if you do slow down here, you're gonna find something rare. A place that hasn't traded its identity for tourism. We've been journeying through this literal gem of a landscape for the past week, learning about their rich crystal hunting heritage, diving into their silver mines, interviewing locals and hiking these mountains for ourselves. It's been incredible, but we also might very well have saved the best for the finale of this grand series. And so welcome at last to the main event. Here in the tiny town of Stuhlfelden sits an incredibly understated restaurant that just earned its place on the Michelin Guide 2025. This is the Rauchkuchl, the smoky kitchen. It looks absolutely amazing inside and out. Smells fantastic too, but there's only one way to find how it tastes: to go inside and have a 5-course meal.
Starters, we have homemade bread from the baker, from my brother and my father, also bread with potatoes and the bread with pumpkin seeds, called the raw milk butter.
Prost everybody, dinner is starting off special already with our welcome drink. In front of me we have an Apfel and Kirsch Prosecco, a sparkling wine made with notes of apple and cherry. It's made in Upper Austria just for this restaurant. I couldn't be more excited. It's a great way to start off. That is so bubbly, very carbonation forward, but it's incredibly sweet. That's a dangerous drink. Might need to go back to Hellas if I want to make it through the whole meal. The bread is rapidly cooling, of which we have 2 freshly baked half loaves that look absolutely fantastic, and to go with it, 2 different types of butter and a selection of meats. Of the 2, we have a normal fresh butter, but what I am most excited for is the pork belly and horseradish. It looks incredible, but why keep talking about it when we can dig in? Let's go straight for the pork belly, right? That, I don't know what it's gonna be like. That is soft. Exceptionally spreadable. I assume the flour is edible. It's about to be. That is incredible. It is so soft, so smooth. It feels kind of like a pate in a way, but with a beautiful porky meatiness that lacks. This is so good. I'm gonna need some more of that. It's a shame you can't try it. Okay, we really need to talk about this place before I literally get lost in the sauce. Because sitting here, drinking this wine, tearing into this bread, it would be easy to just enjoy it and move on. But there's a reason we came all the way out here, a reason Michelin just added the Rauchkuchl to their guide. This building is over 500 years old and has been in the Bacher family since 1892. For generations, the women have run this place beloved in their community. And now Tobias has taken the reins from his mother, who took them from hers, who took them from hers. I think you get the picture. And his approach to hospitality is fittingly simple. Preserve as much as possible, renew as much as necessary. He's not trying to reinvent Pinzgau cuisine, he's taking his family recipes from these very farmhouses, and elevating them with technique and precision. Everything we're eating is local, half of it foraged from these woods by Tobias himself. Wild herbs, berries, game. He knows these mountains like his own kitchen because he grew up in both. And that's truly the magic. That's why you've got locals who've eaten here for 40 years, sitting next to couples who drove hours after getting in the know. This isn't some farm-to-table highfalutin concept restaurant. This is just how it's always been. And that's exactly what makes it special. But now we do need to get back to the table before all the food gets cold. That'd be a shame.
Spargel espresso. Prost one more time. This is the dinner of drinks. In front of me, we have a Spargel Cappuccino. For those who don't know, Spargel, it's asparagus. An asparagus cappuccino. Unbelievable. Perhaps the most Alpine Germanic thing I've ever heard in my life. Spargel is famous in this region, but I can't say I've ever drank one before. Let's give it a taste. That is salty and complex in all the best ways. Far from a hot chocolate or cup of coffee, this is a new kind of hot drink unlike anything I've ever experienced before. I'm also used to dipping my biscuits or even my donuts in coffee, never before bread, but since this is such a savory drink, I'm gonna dip some bread in there. This dinner is already starting off indescribable. And to be clear, there's no coffee in this, it's just in a little cappuccino cup. It's asparagus soup, a damn good one. And frankly, there's gonna be so much going on in this meal, I can't rate and review every single thing. We'd be here all day, and I'd never finish my dinner. So instead, the last thing I wanna mention from the first course is this. A very special cut of salami. This is a local venison salami from deer from these very woods. It's gonna be great. If you eat too much of that, you're never going to be able to go back to anything else. That is incredibly Moorish.
And really quick, let me remind you that we release companion articles to every Near From Home video over on our website, nearfromhome.com, where we break down every trip into a bite-sized itinerary, including complete maps and timelines, everything you need to follow along in our footsteps. So please do go check that out. Spend a lot of time working on this, programming it myself for you to enjoy. And while you're over there, don't forget that you can also book an itinerary consultation with me and Camille, where we hop on a video call together to talk all things travel, stepping day by day through your own itinerary and making sure your next trip to our neck of the woods is as perfect as can be. They are so much fun, and it's a great way for you to support the channel, help us keep the lights on, and I love getting to meet you all at home too. So please check out nearfromhome.com and, like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff while you're at it. Why not?
And for our next course, we've got a river fish and potato puree. I'm very excited about this because I love fish.
And I'm glad you could finally enjoy the entire course.
Yes, me too. Oh, that fish is so good. It's very flavorful river fish. 10 out of 10.
They call this dish down here in Tyrol, this middle area of Austria that we're in the Alps, they call this a Krapfen, a Bauernkrapfen to be exact. However, in Bavaria, in Munich where I live, a Krapfen is a donut. So I thought they were going to give us a donut for a second course, but instead, no, it is a Krapfen, and in this way, it's kind of like a fried ravioli. It's the best description I can give you right now. Unfortunately, Camille will be missing out on this Krapfen because inside is a potato puree with a bit of bacon. It sounds fantastic, but not vegetarian friendly. This region really is. Oh my God, that is absolutely amazing. It's fried to perfection, it's so flaky, and on a bed of sauerkraut, it has this tartness that cuts through the richness in the best way possible. This is one of the best things I've had in a while.
I love that they give you a little break between the courses. Perfect to come out here, stretch our legs.
And it is so nice. There's a cat.
Oh, there's a cat! baby for Screech. No, it doesn't want Screeches. Yes, he does. Oh, that's a baby for Screech. Oh, he's such a good cat. Oh, meowser.
Every time I pet him, he puts his butt in the air. Put your butt down, sir.
And you don't bother the chickens at all. No, you're a good cat. You're friends to the chicken. Also, that rooster would kick your ass. And if the meal couldn't get any better, we're being invited by the owner into the main dining hall to check out their wood-fired traditional iron oven. Looks really cool. The main dining hall with its traditional kitchen is an intense place to be, but it smells amazing.
Das wären jetzt Butterkartoffeln mit selber gemachten Rosmarinsalz, der Salz ist aus. Dann haben wir hier das Gemüse, alles handgeschnitten. Wie viele Kilogramm? Wissen Sie? Okay. It's heavy.
You're tilting it, that's not lifting it.
Yeah. At least 10, yes.
Okay, und jetzt mit einem Hand.
No. No shot.
Der Tobi hat vorher am Feuer das Fleisch angebraten, an der Glut, das war ein wunderbarer Geschmack. Ist jetzt im Ruheofen, kommt dann nochmal zurück in Lustburg mit Kräuter. Kommst du doch mal, damit du das einfach fotografieren kannst. Und eure Arbeit ist schön, es ist nur schade, dass er den Geruch und den Duft nicht auf Foto bringt. Ja. Du sprichst furchtbar Deutsch.
Prost again. Switched up to beer to even it out, my natural habitat. And you can tell we're in Salzburger land because we're drinking Stiegl, one of my favorite beers out here in Austria. And now for the course I think I have been most excited about all evening. A fantastic cut of venison over buttery vegetables. Couldn't really ask for much more, could you? Now admittedly, I haven't had a ton of venison before, so honestly, I'm just really excited to find out how it tastes. The meat itself is cooked to absolute perfection. It's so tender, you practically pull it apart. Though this might be almost too good to start my venison journey with. But the most important question is, how does it taste? It's so good. That is deliciously decadent. It's such a rich meat that is over-complemented in a way with an incredible butter. This is a rich meal, and I love every second of it. No, carrots, no. Importantly, the vinaigrette on the salad cuts through between bites, so make sure to take a rest and not just plow through the meat straight away. You want to balance it out with the rest of the meal, and it's absolutely incredible. Perhaps most importantly, this is a local venison to these very woods, but I'll tell you what, it isn't gamey at all. It's just delicious. And last but not least, we finally find ourselves at dessert, of which we have two. A homemade sorbet on a bed of fresh strawberries, and sitting right next to it, a white chocolate creme brulee. I do not know which of these I'm more excited for, but I'm glad I get to eat both. I'm not quite sure I need to describe strawberry sorbet to you, but I can tell you it's absolutely fantastic, as if there was any doubt. But I do think the creme brulee might be my favorite. It's amazing, absolutely. What a fantastic way to end probably one of the very best dinners of my life. So good. I think what I'm loving the most about this restaurant, right, is it's so traditionally Alpine Germanic, if you will, right? It has that Gemütlichkeit of being in an Alm, a barn, the kind of place you can have a beer and a schnitzel, the kind of meal we've had a million times before. But never before have I been to a restaurant that has said, what if we turn that up to 11? What if we make it so passionately, with such an intensity, that it just elevates the entire experience to, honestly, places I didn't know traditional restaurants could go. This place is mind-blowing. I've had a million meals that looked like they were gonna be like this, but I'm gonna remember this meal for the rest of my life. It's so special.
And I hope you've enjoyed this video at least half as much as I've enjoyed making it. This whole series, from the silver mines to the crystal hunting hikes, it's been truly incredible. There's a large world out there that other travel guides make feel awfully small. Teleporting from Vienna to Salzburg to Innsbruck, it's just not what I'd recommend when you miss so much of what's real in between. And I wish less people promoted that sort of thing. I'd take visiting 100 tiny towns no one has ever heard of over visiting 100 countries, whatever that means, any day of the week. And if you've made it this far, then I'm sure you more than agree. If so, try to support us a little. Tip if you think we've earned it. Subscribe if you haven't already. Check out our website, book a consultation, watch the rest of our series. There's so much that you can do to help us keep the lights on. But most importantly of all, maybe consider telling your friends. Those flashy country hoppers get all the SEO and algorithmic love they could need. We don't, so we have to grow organically with your help. So if you can, bring others into the Near From Home community so we can all slow travel together. Thank you so much for your time, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video, wherever that might be.